I'm Sandy Charles. Welcome into AZ Audibles presented by Venezia's. We're here at Dave & Buster's at Tempe Marketplace for the AIA bracket release. And we're joined by Saguaro's head coach, Jason Monza. You have a bye week. How do you use that to prepare to take on Horizon?
Yeah, I told our kids before I came over here this morning, we're on the field. We show up at 7 for treatment. We were on the track at 8 running. And after we finished our run, I brought them up and I said, hey, this is not a bye week. This is a work week. And, we had a bye week before we played Marcos and Ease. It was fall break. It was vacation. And it took us a week to kind of shake off the cobwebs. And I said, we're not going on a bye. We're working. So a normal week for us would be 3 work days. So we're going to have 3 work days next week. And then go back, the following week and just treat it as business as usual. So got to work. You can't rest. You can't let your guard down. We got to keep getting better. That's going to be the important thing.
You and I spoke earlier in the year, and you focused in on not so much your opponents on the schedule, but making sure Saguaro was playing their best football at this time of year. Do you guys think you are on the upswing heading in the Open 8 against Horizon?
Yeah, I think so. Being in the 4A in the region that we're in, with where our program is right now, most of our challenges came in the first 5 weeks of the season. And so, we've just had to really kind of work on ourselves. And we haven't been tested, and that's probably our Achilles heel. But what we've done to combat that is really compete in practice. When we line up in the first round of this Open Division, we're going to play somebody that looks like our #1 defense across from us. So we just try to create those scenarios in practice and then get through our schedule, try to stay healthy. Obviously, with Israel having been out, get Keeley and Will and some of those guys, kind of the running back by committee, getting those guys more reps. And that's been the huge advantage, is getting those guys caught up to speed on the offensive side of things.
We're joined by Centennial head coach Richard Taylor. Coach, you are the 2nd seed in the first ever Open Division playoffs. Now, Coach, you're typically the under-the-radar champion. How do you use that for your benefit to kind of sneak in there and say, yeah, we're here, guys. This is what we're about?
Well, looking at everybody that's in there, you might say Centennial really probably shouldn't be in there against those powerhouses like that. And our guys, I think, relish that. They don't mind being the underdog. We're just this little West Side team that tried to do the best we can.
You guys took on the #1 team in the nation, were able to host them earlier in the year. 71-21 loss does not quite represent what your team learns, though, when you play a team of that caliber. What do you think your team learned in that game that you guys can take into playing every game the rest of this year against top-notch opponents?
Well, that was, I would say that was the turning point in our season. Even though it was early, after you've had some success, the next group that comes in believe they are entitled to that success too. And it doesn't work that way. You've got to work for it, you've got to earn it. And Mater Dei, being the #1 team in the country, showed us that there were a lot of things that we needed to work on, and we went about working on those things.
We're joined by Chandler head coach Rick Garrison.
As the 3-time defending 6A state champions, do you still feel like Chandler has a bullseye on their back, even though you're playing the elite of the elite here in Arizona?
Well, of course you do. We've won 4 out of the last 5, right? And, that's what you live for, though. I mean, you want to be in that position. Not that we talk about the kids all the time, but it's something that you earn, and you learn to deal with, because we usually get everybody's best shot, and that's how we're going to prepare and get ready for those obstacles that present themselves in ball games.
You and I spoke last spring, Coach, about Mikey Keene, your quarterback, and you assured me that there would be no big gap and the offense would continue to roll. Where have you seen him grow in his first season as your starter?
Well, I've got quite a bit of experience with quarterbacks, and I've always thought that it takes a first-year quarterback about 4 or 5 games to really feel comfortable, being the guy at the helm. And our quarterback is in charge of everything. And it's a key position, needless to say, in football. But when you have that responsibility, he's done an unbelievable job. He's a dynamic leader. I've always said he throws the ball on the run the best of any of the guys I've had, and I've had all my guys are Pac-12 or Jacob going to BYU, right? So he knows how to get things done, and shown that and led us to Chandler's first 10-0 season in school history. So that's a big feather in his cap, and he's going to make somebody proud and happy, whoever gets him and lands him in the recruiting cycle.
Guys, the Open 8 was released, so biggest surprises, Eric?
None. This is pretty much how I saw the brackets playing out. I know we can go back and forth on should Chaparral have made it, should Chaparral not have made it, but looking at these games, it's incredible because all these games are going to be competitive, and you're going to see football at the highest level. There's good balance. There's 2 4A teams. And I mean, I want to see all the games right now. I don't even care which one I get sent to. They're going to be 4 great games.
One of the teams in the Open 8, Pinnacle, but without their starting quarterback and J.D. Johnson, how does this affect them?
It does and it doesn't. I mean, you saw what they did against Boulder Creek, 52-0. So J.D. Johnson's a great player, but there are a lot of great players around him. And Pinnacle's defense has been good the entire season. And this time of year, when you're playing these elite offenses, you're going to have to rely on that defense.
Whether there's blood in the water or not, Lathan Ransom is going to smell it. Young quarterback, throw in my direction. This is a tough Sal Point defense. I'm not expecting a 52-0 here because Sal Point knows how to get it done on the defensive side of the ball.
Awesome, you guys. The playoffs are here. So excited. This was another AZ Audibles presented by Venezia's. For more, head to sports360az.com.